Hello everyone, my name is Xavier. In this tutorial, we will figure out how to set up DHCP Server, one of the most important protocols as a network administrator should be familiar with. Are you ready? Let's go! Okay, as we mentioned before a moment, the DHCP server is a protocol that's responsible for distributing IP address automatically. One of the most important roles of this protocol is to give you a chance to avoid typing mistake of IP address. Sometimes that is happen usually when we distribute the IP addresses. So first, let's take a look at the request here as we shown on the left hand side here. This is the request. We should follow it to figure how to set up the DHCP server. We need to drag one server and switches, two PCs, cover straight through cable, network ID, verify the connectivity. So first we need, as you can see, this is the topology I have already configured. Just we need to add the server. You can add the server from the network component, go to endpoint, click on it. From the endpoint devices here, choose server. This is the device we're looking for. Add it to the working area, click here. Great. This is the DHCP server, or this is a server we need to configure the DHCP server on it. So we need to connect this server with the switch. Go to connection. From the types of connection, choose straight through cable. Why? Because this is a different devices. Click on straight through and then click on the plug on it with the switches. Choose a port. First is the net 03 and then connect it with the server. Click and choose connected with the path is the net 0. Great. This is the server now has connected with the DHCP or connected with the switches. So now we have the topology as shown here is connected but has no functional port. Why? Because there is no IP addresses that are distributed on this topology. So first let me highlight this, for example, name it as, for example, DHCP server. This is just for explanation. So as you can see, it's DHCP server, and we need to apply the IP addresses for this DHCP server. Notice that as you can see here, a sign of IP address to server should be in static. You know why? Because sometimes as a network administrator, this is the first thing you should do it. The server or the printer should be assigned IP addresses manually or in static. Okay? Don't give any IP addresses for server or printer and IP addresses by using the DHCP server for many reasons. For security and another something else. Okay, so DHCP server for this topology, we have to give it an IP addresses. For example, let's place a note here. Let's say the IP address of this, for example, 192.168.20.1/24. Okay. This is the IP address of this. Okay, to assign the IP address, as usually as we know, click on DHCP server, move to the desktop. From the desktop, ensure that in the IP configuration. From the IP configuration, remind you this is the DHCP server, should be in static assigned. Enter or type the IP address 192.168.20 and .1, for example, and subnet mask by default 255.255.255.0. Great. These are IP addresses of the DHCP server. Okay. Close this window and ensure that you have chosen server tab. As you can see here, we have services. This is the service that is installed in this DHCP server or this server. Okay. As you can see in the left hand side here on this window, we have several applications that installed, such as HTTP, DHCP for version 4 and for version 6, and TFTP server also for DNS server, etc. For this tutorial, ensure that you have chosen DHCP version 4. Click on it. On the right hand here, this is the information you should fill it. Okay. As you can see, this is the interfaces that is connected with the switches, fast Ethernet. That means wired connection. Ensure that the DHCP server is switched on. Click or enable on. And this is the name of the service pool. Let us add default. And the default gateway, we don't want to talk about it right now. So move to the DHCP or the started IP addresses. As you can see here, we have, this is the network of the IP addresses 192.168.20, and this is the first IP address that should be distributed automatically. Let's start it by, for example, say 5. This is the first IP distributed to our network or to the device that connected with the switch. So, and the default subnet mask as it is 255.255.255.0. Okay, here we have, as you can see, maximum number of the users is 255. This means this is the range of the IP version 4 class C. So we need, for example, the number of this IP addresses for this network, for example, become, for example, 15. Just to distribute 15 addresses for endpoint connected with this. Okay. This is, for example, sometimes when we come in the future later, inshallah, we talk about the security. Okay. And then click on save. Okay. Just click on save. As you can see, let's zoom in. As you can see, this is the information we have configured on the DHCP server, as you see here. Okay, let's close this window of this DHCP server configuration, and now the IP addresses and the configuration of the DHCP server is already done. Okay, let's distribute the IP addresses to these PCs automatically. It's so simple. Just move to any PCs that connected with the switches. For example, on PC of Adam, as you can see, this is the username as Adam. Ensure the desktop. From the desktop, also move to IP configuration. Great. As you can see here, this is the IP configuration. We have two tabs. Static, this is as the IP addresses manually. For this tutorial, not manually, we need to distribute it automatically. Just enable the DHCP or choose DHCP and just wait. Here, as you can see, request of the DHCP is done successfully. Great. That simply the DHCP distributed to this PC. Okay. Here, as you can see, the boxes of this become disabled depending on the DHCP because there is no static here. Great. Close this window and move to the devices or the laptop of Sarah and also the desktop. From the desktop in IP configuration, from the IP configuration, let me zoom in. Ensure that you have chosen DHCP distribution. Just click on wait As you can see here, this message, DHCP request is done successfully. Great. It's so simple, right? Great. This is the DHCP server is done and each PCs has applied or assigned IP addresses for each PC. How to figure out each PC it has an IP addresses? Briefly, open any PC, open this and move to the command prompt, the command line interface, type the command ipconfig. This is the ipconfig. This is the command line interface responsible for display information about network NIC card of these PCs, and then hit enter. Just wait. Great. As you can see here, this is the information about simple information about the NIC card of this PC. As you can see here, these IP addresses. As you can see, the first IP address is 192.168.20.5. This is the default subnet mask. Great. This is the first IP address of this PC. Great. Close this window and move to C. Sarah laptop. Also, command prompt. In this, enter the command line ipconfig. Ensure that type as it is as small, it is case sensitive, okay? And then hit enter. Great. As you see, IP version 4 is the address here 192.168.20 and .6. This is the second IP address distributed to this PC. So, close this window, and now we can say that all devices assigned IP addresses successfully. To ensure that, briefly you can send a message or a packet from PC Adam to Sarah. Just send it and wait. See the status bar here. It's done successfully. The source is the start of Adam and the destination is Sarah and the type of protocol as we see. Let's move this ICMP. Great. Also you can check again. Send a packet again from Sarah to reply to Adam and then see. Great. Successfully Sarah has become the source and Adam become the destination, and this is the protocol of the ICMP. This is for verify the connectivity of this. Also, you can send off a packet from Adam to the server also. It done successfully. Why? Because in the same network. As you see, Adam sent a packet to the DHCP server using ICMP. Great. So, this is briefly about DHCP server, and we have set it up correctly. So, we can conclude this DHCP, or stand for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, is the service that is allow you as a network administrator to distribute a network automatically. One of the main function or the main feature of this protocol is give you a chance to distribute the IP addresses correctly without any mistake, such as, for example, sometimes when type an IP addresses for a wide range of network, as a human might get an error mistake for typing. So, to avoid this, just distribute the DHCP or distribute the IP addresses in DHCP, specifically when there is a large number of devices connected to the network, for example 500 PCs and beyond. So I think that is briefly about tutorial today. Guys, it's time to say goodbye. See you next time.